The night rain turned the city streets into black glass, reflecting the flashing red and blue lights that trapped Keon, Ramsey, and Jalen. Price like prey. On your knees. Officer Lucas Grant barked, voice sharp with the thrill of domination. Keon lifted his hand slowly, jaw tight. We didn't do anything. Shut up. Grant slammed Keon against the hood of his cruiser, ignoring the thud of impact. His partner cuffed Jalen roughly, twisting his arms as if trying to snap bone. The brothers in arms shared a look, not of fear, but of restraint. They had survived war zones, night raids, and insurgent ambushes. But this required more discipline than any battlefield. Got a tip you two stole a vehicle, Grant sneered. That's my truck, Keon muttered into the metal hood. Registered in my name, Grant smirked. Funny how criminals always say that. Another slam, another bruise. Jalen's eyes narrowed. Search the plate. The system will prove it. Oh, we'll get to that, Grant said, pulling out his baton and tapping it against his palm. After we teach you some respect? A car passing on the wet street slowed. Phones went up. Grant froze, lips curling with frustration. He hated witnesses. Throw them in, he snapped. The officers shoved both men into the back seat, rain dripping from their faces but not dimming their fury. As the doors slammed shut, Keon leaned his head back with a controlled breath. Jay, he murmured, don't break his jaw. No promises, Jalen smirked. The next morning, courtroom. The marshal escorted them in wearing the same cuffs from the night before. Grant stood proudly at the prosecutor's table, like a hunter showing off trophies. The courtroom buzzed, spectators whispering, sensing tension, sensing injustice. The judge entered. This court will hear the charges against... Grant cut in. Your Honor, these two suspects resisted arrest. Endangered officers and attempted grand theft auto. Reporters scribbled eagerly. Keon and Jalen said nothing. SEALs didn't plead. They presented facts. Their public defender leaned close. Please let me speak. Don't escalate. Keon's voice was steady. We won't. Because they didn't need to. Grant strutted to the center like he already won. These men were aggressive, disrespectful, and clearly guilty. The heavy courtroom doors swung open with a boom. Everything stopped. A silhouette filled the entrance, broad-shouldered. White-haired, medals lining his navy coat like stars in a galaxy. Whispers erupted. Is that? It can't be. That's Admiral. Oh my God. Admiral Jonathan Riker, commander of Naval Special Warfare, the man entire militaries stood straighter for. He walked with a cold, lethal calm only seen in legends. The bailiff stiffened, the judge blinked rapidly, and Grant's smug grin evaporated instantly. He marched directly to Keon and Jalen. The courtroom held its breath. If you're still watching, like, subscribe and turn on post notifications, 'cause the best part's coming next. Riker saluted them. Petty Officer First Class. Jalen Price, Chief Keon. Ramsey. His voice carried like thunder rolling across the ocean. I apologize for the disgraceful treatment you endured. The Navy stands behind you. Grant stumbled backward. Wait, they're military, he croaked. Riker turned his icy gaze on the officer. They are not merely military. They are the operators who led the Helios rescue mission, saved 32 hostages, and dismantled an entire extremist cell. While you, he stepped closer, assaulted, humiliated, and unlawfully arrested them over nothing. The gallery gasped. Jalen finally spoke, quiet but cutting. We told you to run the plates. Grant's partner suddenly found the floor extremely interesting. Judge Reynolds cleared her throat, trembling. Admiral Riker, do you wish to file a statement? I already have. He handed over a folder thick enough to break a wrist. Body cam tampering, false charges, excessive force, racial profiling. Everything is documented. Grant's knees visibly weakened. Riker folded his arms. Remove the cuffs from my men. The bailiff rushed forward like salvation had arrived. Metal clinked. Freedom returned. Keon rolled his shoulders. Jalen cracked his neck. Riker faced the courtroom. These two SEALs put their lives on the line for this country every day, and they deserve respect, not abuse. Grant tried to step backward toward the exit. Officer Grant, the judge said, voice regained and steel hard. Approach the bench. Now. Grant swallowed, shaking as he stepped forward. The judge looked down at him with a cold fury. You are hereby arrested for misconduct. abuse of authority, and falsification of reports. Bailiffs! Jalen leaned toward the audience with a grin and whispered loud enough to be heard. Cameras rose like a wave. Then, "Bailiffs," the judge commanded. "Put Officer Lucas Grant in handcuffs." The metal clicked shut around his wrists. The courtroom erupted. Grant stared at Keon and Jalen, pale, defeated, humiliated. You set me up." Keon stepped forward, eyes sharp. "No, you set yourself up." Riker placed a hand on both SEALs' shoulders. "Let's go home, gentlemen." They walked out through the same doors. Grant once marched through with confidence, now escorted out in chains. Justice had flipped. So had the power, so had the story. And everyone watching knew. Never underestimate the wrong men,